now, and I guess I will leave the floor to Elisa if she's connected. You connected,
Yes,
Elisa?
I'm here. Yes.
Excellent. So Elisa is the big boss, the director of the MaX
Come
Center
on.
of Excellence. So she's going to give us some closing remarks. Thank you, Elisa.
Thank you. And actually, yeah, I don't really see myself as the big boss, and I see many big bosses there of real work. But let me just try to say a few words to finish with this school, which in my view, even if I didn't follow it all, is really an exciting event. Before that, let me just tell you, I think going to a school is somewhat becoming part of being part of a community. And even if you didn't get it in person, in a way, what I think is that you will be able to discover in a number of years that the people that you met here, you may keep finding again around. I kept finding my schoolmates of some summer school in conferences, in panels, in committees, in faculty meetings. I think this is an opportunity that you have had to network with many people, meet many colleagues, but then also start meeting scientists and have it at such an international level, and having the opportunity of meeting top people. I think, by the way, because we are at ICTP and Sandra and the others are here, I think one of the big reasons why I think we all be grateful to ICTP is that they share with Quantum Espresso and many of us the attitude that in the schools you don't just go and pray the low-level things that people should have. The idea is keeping the top possible level of speakers, participants in the world that can tell you about what they do. And I think that's what I think our community should be very much proud of, and ICTP is helping a lot in that direction worldwide. But so let me just tell, in this case, you had a lot of opportunities. I'm sure you realize already now, and you will realize even more as time goes by. But okay, let me put that in numbers first, so that you can see. And thank you to Ivan, who just provided last minute a summary of the numbers. The numbers are breaking all records for ICTP, but also for MaX in terms of numbers of people who applied to participate in this meeting. And then the fortunate 125 and who apparently are very happy about their experience. They come from many countries in the world, and this is a really an experience of international interactions. And I think you had keynote speaker, lecturers, and tutors from a very broad provenance and also very high level. I was especially happy of one number which I didn't see here, and this is that out of this 125 participants, more than 50 are women, and more than 42%, which is something that for a long time didn't happen, and I was very happy to see it happening here. So this is becoming more and more diverse, not only in terms of the geographical distribution, but also in terms of who we are participating in all this. Now, one point that I wanted to highlight here is that with respect to normal schools, here you have a very special opportunity to mix users and the developers of codes. People who are, so you're not just mixing physicists, chemists, and material scientists or whatever, but you're mixing people who know about computer science and put their hands in the codes that you are using, and also together with people who just use the codes and make their science out of their codes. And you also, I believe, had the opportunity to see the process in the making when people put together their codes. And this is partially the result of a community of students postdocs who before you worked at putting into the codes their science, their algorithms, their computational solutions. So this is also really an opportunity of being part of that community, and you will keep seeing them in the forum and in all the correspondence. And it's actually very nice that you will have access to people who are the developers and you have seen them in their faces. The reason I'm pointing out these aspects of developers is that very recently the nature of this process of developing codes is changing a lot. Here in the center of this slide, you have a picture which is meant to point out the big advantages in performance that you get now together. You get from Quantum Espresso today. The numbers that Ivan put there is that on 24 GPUs, the Quantum Espresso is today 3 times faster than it was on 3,000 cores of the latest generation. And you've been able to see that because there were technologies that were made available to you through the use of the virtual machine, creating your configuration in your lab and so on. So what I want to point out here is that there has been a big effort that was needed for that, not just in developing the science and the codes from the community of developers, but also in making them available in an efficient and also in a practical way to everyone. And this is something that is becoming more and more difficult along the year. What has happened in the last year, I think behind the scenes, and I don't know if all of you realize that, is that there has been an increased complexity in the architectures that we are using to calculate. It has been more and more heterogeneous, for example, with GPUs and other type of strategies, mostly made in order to have greener computing. So also taking in some sense also care of how to make the world better. But anyhow, it was a need imposed by the market of supercomputers, for example, and of your computers, that people would have to take care more and more of how their codes would be evolving in time. And this has become something that is very difficult to be done by individuals, by individual teams, even by a big team like Quantum Espresso. And that's why you finally will learn what is this MaX that you saw in the title of your school. MaX is an effort that was co-funded by the European Commission community by Europe, basically, which is devoted to working on codes and on more generally on the whole ecosystem of materials design, such that the codes can become able to run in an efficient way at the exascale, so towards the new generation of computers, and also to be able to be used in a simple way, that people be trained to use them as in the best possible way. And so this is co-funded by the European Commission and of course by the teams of all the people who work at this. And just to let you know, and also to thank all the people who contributed to that, to work together with the European Commission. It is all the supercomputing, the big supercomputing centers in Europe. Very importantly, it's all the institutions and teams that have worked in developing the codes. So here you see the codes that are involved here. It's Quantum Espresso. Below here, almost hidden, is Yambo, working for especially excited states related to excitations, I would say in general. And then Siesta, changing the basis sets. Fleur, again, mostly working for for a magnetic system and with an all-electron basis. Everything became switched. CP2K, I won't mention them all. Big data and the AIDA platform that you have learned how to helps you organize all you do in an automated way. So, and the people in the teams that develop, the lead developers of these institutions and of these codes put together, started to work together in order to try and work on these open source codes, where the idea is that you want to make this available to the community, that people can see open source. And the idea is that people do all the best to readjust their codes, which means restructuring their codes, separating the role of the people who will have to adapt to the new architectures with respect to the people who have to think of their science and their algorithms. So working to really rewrite those codes. They had been put together by generations sometimes of professors, students, postdocs, people like you for their thesis and so on, but they're not always they were or they are completely in shape to take advantage of the new architectures. So there was a big effort by these people in the codes and the supercomputing people to push that evolution. And the help was also coming from the technology partners and from some institutions like the ICTP and like SECAM and PSYCH, which represent our scientific community, and some other partners who basically helped in this big effort, which is lasting already for more than 5 years, and we hope it will be continuing. So this is where this name MaX comes, and the commitment is to continue working in order to make your code, the other codes, and especially Quantum Espresso and the codes that will be related to it, as efficient as possible, as performing as possible, and also evolving as much as possible to do all the new science that is becoming possible with the new supercomputing architectures. For example, enhancing the capability. Some time ago, just looking at spectroscopy would be extremely difficult because we wouldn't be able to look, or looking at phenomena, some of the phenomena that Nicola was talking about would be almost out of reach, and we are trying to implement new capabilities, new science, new tools, and also much more efficiency in the codes that come with the new architectures. So this is where this MaX come from, and where I think some support to the school came, but the school would not have been possible without all the Quantum Espresso team and all the ICTP team, and all the people who supported your tutors, your hands-on sessions, all the speakers, and all of you. I know you've been contributing a lot, and I hope you also managed to interact a lot. So I wish this remains in your memory as an important moment in your education, and also in getting to know other people that you will meet again in your future. That's all. Thanks. And I should say, Nicola gives great talks, and she also motivates all of us to use Quantum Espresso for the best. So special thanks also to her.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure who should take over now, but I guess it's, since I was chairing the session at the beginning, I guess I would probably just say thank you, everybody, for joining, for contributing, for attending, for participating. And I think we can probably declare the school closed, unless there is some further comments, Stefano or Elisa or Ivan or
I would like to clap, but I cannot.
I would like to make a final statement.
Okay, Stefano, go ahead.
Please. So a very short one. I am really pleased and even moved to tell the whole truth by the enthusiastic reaction of all the participants, to whom go my first heartfelt thanks. And I would like to thank individually the organizers who have made this event such a success. Tone Kokal from Ljubljana, Alessandro Stroppa from L'Aquila, Wei Ren from Shanghai, Ralph Gebauer from Trieste, ICTP. But above all, the two heroes of the school are the two events. Ivan Girotto, who is smiling in this very moment, and Ivan Carnimeo, who have made the impossible possible and real. You don't know what happened behind the scenes, but we've had a few moments of real panic. And thanks to them, none of you perceived anything. Thank you very much, Ivan and Ivan. Last but not least, the supporting institutions, the ICTP in the first place, CISA, the Quantum Espresso Foundation, and of course, our main funding source, which is the European Commission. Thanks to all and best wishes for a successful and happy scientific career. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you all.
Ciao.
Bye.